Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother and sister, welcome back to Islamic Notes channel. Zahra Fielding's story, getting to know Islam from online games to becoming a convert. Zahra Fielding, a convert from Australia. Who would have thought that the Muslim woman was first interested in Islam through an online game? Initially, Zahra found new friends through an online game. I downloaded the game out of curiosity. I saw it on a Facebook ad, which I thought was out of place, said Zahra, who considered the ad to be quite sexist, as quoted by ABC Indonesia. The game that Zahra downloaded was Gambling of Sultans, which is a role-playing simulation of an empire. After starting to play, he found that the game was not as sexist as advertised and actually had an impact on his life. This game came at a pivotal moment in my life. Before, I felt lonely and directionless. I didn't feel proud of my career nor my personal life, and I had been single for a long time, said Zahra. In a game that involves working together in groups to defeat enemies, Zahra joins a group of 5 female players from Australia and Asia. In this game, I met a group of people from different countries that I would probably never have met, Zahra said. One of the players in Zahra's group is Kim Asikan, a Muslim woman from Singapore. When we started exchanging messages, I immediately felt connected talking to him. I don't know why and how, but we really responded to each other, said Zahra. Kim initially felt insecure when she had to post her photo in a chat group called Discord, which is popular among gamers, because she was the only player wearing a hijab. I was a bit worried about how my friends in the group would see me. Will they judge me because of my religion? She said. However, Kim eventually decided to be honest with his group members, who were always there to help him when he had problems. I had just lost my dad before I played this game, so connecting with them gave me a little peace and helped distract me, he said. So, I don't want to lie to them. I'm sure they can accept me as I am. The closer Zahra got to Kim, the more she dared to talk about religious topics. Although previously non-religious or atheist, Zahra felt that her views on Islam had been contaminated by her past experiences. My only connection with Islam was a few years ago, when one of my best friends started dating an Afghan Muslim man, she said. At that time, the man was a devout Muslim, but now that I know a lot about the Islamic faith, I thought he was a bully or very controlling, she continued. For Zahra, the experience of her friend, who had started wearing the hijab at the time, as well as the negative depiction of Islam in the media, made her have negative prejudices about women who wear the hijab for the sake of religion. I thought the hijab was a symbol of oppression, but I never had the chance to ask anyone about it. So I asked Kim, and I was so wrong, she said. When a woman wears the hijab, the goal is for people to recognize her for her personality, not her appearance, Zahra said. This is consistent with my perspective and consistent with my upbringing. I have been judged based on my physical appearance for so long. The conversation about the hijab led to a discussion about the Islamic faith as a whole. However, Kim felt inferior because she felt that her experience could not represent all Muslims. When Zahra started asking me about Islam, I was actually really scared, Kim said with a laugh. I was scared because I'm not a Muslim woman. I always thought I was a rebel. As a child, Kim was forced to wear the hijab and practice religious obedience by her mother. She was raised in a family that enforced many rules and was often looked for mistakes. Zahra's question made me reflect on myself, whether I was truly religious enough, said Kim. Kim said he felt happy when Zahra asked about the belief he had embraced since childhood. Secretly, he prayed to God, if it's true that Zahra is destined to find you, make it easy. But of course, I didn't say it out loud. I was afraid Zahra would turn around and run away in fear, Kim said. According to Zahra, Kim is far from being called a preacher. Kim is a very private person. In fact, if I want to know information about Islam from him, I have to actively ask because he is aware that he does not want to force his beliefs on me, said Zahra. If there was someone who deliberately invited me to convert to Islam, I would never convert to Islam and would even reject it. After studying Islam for a long time, Zahra felt closer to the belief. It's been a fun journey for me. I didn't suddenly say, hey guys, I'm going to be a Muslim now, he said. This step started when one day I asked Kim, "Is it polite if I start wearing hijab? I want to know how it feels to wear it." After several attempts, Zahra finally became more confident in covering her hair and head on weekends, and gradually wore a turban at work. At first, no one asked. Then, after a few days, some of my co-workers started to get curious. They said, "Did you get your hair cut wrong, or are you creating the latest hair trend?" Zahra said with a laugh. The conversation ended up being lighthearted. "Well, actually, I'm studying Islam and I'm not sure if I should start wearing the hijab or not. So I'm looking for answers," she told them. Since the beginning of this year, Zahra has started praying at a mosque in Brisbane, called the Karabi Mosque, and recited the Shahada, a sign of converting to Islam. She is one of thousands of Westerners who convert to the religion each year. Zahra believes everyone is born Muslim. She says she did not change her religion, but returned to it. "I told my Muslim friend who helped me when I said the Shahada that I was interested in an arranged marriage because I was tired of being hurt and wanted to get married straight away," she said. Then he helped me complete my profile on a Muslim marriage application. Just like when Zahra met her new friend online this time, she has also found her fiancé through online technology. "My fiancé edits digital content for a Muslim organization in Kuala Lumpur. He said he was really interested in my story and wanted to know how I found Islam," she said. "After a few days of chatting, I thought, okay, I want to try and keep this relationship halal. How do we do that if he's in Malaysia and I'm in Australia?" The halal relationship that Zahra means is a relationship according to Islamic law, where the families of the couple must have met each other to ensure that the relationship is not carried out in secret. For Zahra and her partner, distance is not a barrier. Through video calls, they introduced each other's families. When Australia's border closure is lifted, Zahra plans to move to Malaysia to get married. Kim said he would attend Zahra's wedding and, God willing, is ready to meet his gamer friends for the first time. Once an atheist, gamer Zahra Fielding finds Islam through games. Gamer Zahra Fielding never expected the game she downloaded about the Ottomans to introduce her to new friends, let alone Islam. The game has caught her attention. When I first downloaded the game because I was curious to find it on Facebook, and it was really a very wrong advertisement. There is no way there is a game like this that does all that, talks about women in that way, said Zahra. The game is called Game of Sultans, a role-playing simulation game of kingship. In its advertising, the game has players trying to remain the ruler of the Ottoman Empire. The game has players forming alliances and fighting opponents. The gym also encourages its players to collect women, choose wives and concubines, and build their heirs. However, Zahra said the gym was not as shown in the published advertisement. When Zahra started playing the game, she joined a team of other gamers from Australia and Asia. Probably gamers came at a really important time in my life. I was really lonely and lost. Like unhappy in my career, unhappy in my personal life. I was single for a really long time. And I just met this amazing group of people from different countries that I never had the opportunity to connect with, like I do here, Zahra said. In the game, Zahra also met Kim Asikin, a gamer from Singapore. There was a quick connection with him when we started messaging. I don't know why and how, but each of us would finish every sentence of the conversation, she said. Zahra and Kim's team began to seriously develop strategies in the game. They also created a chat group on Discord, a popular platform among gamers that also serves as a place to share photos and profiles about themselves. At that time, Kim was hesitant because she was the only gamer who wore a hijab on her team. I was a little worried. How would my teammates see me? Would I be judged because of my religion? Kim said. But Kim eventually decided to be honest with his teammates. After all, his teammates in the game had unknowingly helped him through the difficult times after Kim's father left. I had just lost my father before I started the game. Since they, my in-game friends, gave me some peace and took my mind off losing my father for a while, I thought I didn't want to lie to them. I was sure they would accept me for who I am, Kim said. As Zahra grew closer to her Muslim friend, she began to discuss religion with Kim. Zahra was an atheist at the time, her views on Islam clouded by past experiences. A few years ago, one of my best friends was dating an Afghan Muslim man. At the time, he said he was practicing. Now he knew more about the faith. But I didn't see it as serious. He was very controlling, very oppressive, she said. For Zahra, the experience of her friend who has now started wearing the hijab and her own negative media exposure of Islam has made her feel like she needs to be on guard. I thought the hijab was a sign of oppression, but I never had the chance to talk to anyone about it. So I asked Kim, and I was just blown away how wrong I was. When a woman covers herself up, people know her for who she is, not what she looks like. I totally fit that. I've always been judged on my physical appearance, Zahra says. After talking about the hijab, Zahra became more curious about Islam as a whole. When Zahra started asking about Islam, I was actually really scared. I was scared because I'm not a model Muslim. I always thought I was a rebel, Kim said. Kim said that when she was growing up, her mother forced her religion and the hijab on her. Kim was raised with restrictions. When Zahra asked me questions, it made me reflect on myself, about my own beliefs, whether I was trained enough, she said. Kim felt flattered because Zahra wanted to talk about Islam. Kim personally prayed to Allah. If he means to find you, make it easy for him. But I didn't tell Zahra. I was afraid Zahra would turn around and leave, said Kim. Meanwhile, Zahra considered Kim the opposite of a proselytist who tries to attract people or groups to his beliefs. Kim is very quiet. I have to take information from him because he is very conscious of not forcing his beliefs on me. If someone else tried to bring me to Islam, it would not have worked. I would have rebelled against that, said Zahra. But the more Zahra learned about Islam, the more faith she felt. It was a journey for me. I didn't just come out and say, hey guys, I'm going to be a Muslim. It started with asking Kim, is it rude for me to try on the hijab? I really wanted to wear it and what it would feel like, Zahra said. After a while, Zahra started covering her hair every weekend and going to work with a headscarf. At first, no one said anything. Then after a few days, some of my colleagues were curious. They were like, hey, is your haircut bad? Are you starting a new trend? It became a conversation. Well, I actually learned more about Islam, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to wear the hijab or not, so I looked into it, Zahra said. At the beginning of the year, Zahra also came to the Qurbi Mosque in Brisbane. She also declared her faith to convert to Islam. Zahra became one of thousands of people who convert to Islam every year, although Zahra prefers the term return. Because in Islam, she said everyone is born a Muslim. Over time, Zahra wanted to build a family with a Muslim man. I told the person who led me to the Shahada that I was interested in marriage because I was tired of heartbreak and I wanted a husband. He said he was building my profile, so I went to the Muslim marriage app, she said. Just as Zahra struck up an unlikely international friendship with Kim through a game, she has now met her fiancé online. He's an editor at a Muslim organization in Kuala Lumpur. He was really fascinated by my story and wanted to know how I found Islam. After a few days of chatting, I said, okay, I need to try and have a halal relationship. How do we do that while he's in Malaysia and I'm in Australia, she says. In Islam, the families of a married couple usually meet to ensure that the relationship is not hidden. But in Zahra's case, geographical distance made that impossible. She and her fiancé introduced their parents via video chat. Zahra plans to move to Malaysia to get married as soon as the COVID-19 pandemic is over. While Kim said he would attend his friend's wedding, he is ready to meet for the first time with friends who were found in online games.